Look who decided to come to dinner!
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Wait, no, I haven't.
This is my goddamn motherfucker now.
You goddamn
Son of a thing.
Exactly. See, only reason I say that's the only reason I compare that, that in the pandemic is because
it's perfect.
Yeah, because even if they said tomorrow this shit is gone, you don't have to wear masks, nothing. We don't know how it happened, but it's gone.
You still have to live with the time that you lived.
Not only that, you're gonna have the people that goes, I knew it was fake from the beginning, which will be the people who goes, come on, man, it ain't that serious. You can get over. But at the same time, you still have to deal with. You don't know if this is one of the people who lost people during that died from it. Just like they don't know that hurt that you felt from your baby passing so soon. Is you, just like you said before, you don't know me and my connection or how I'm feeling.
You don't know. And to rebuild this building with the same weaknesses that it had once before, when you're met with something like this again, it's going to tear down again.
The same goddamn way.
The same way. And that's how I handled my mother passing. I made it a part of me because I have to go through life without my mother. There is no getting back to the old me. The old me is gone.
There's no second mom.
Exactly. You couldn't have said nothing better. There is no second mom. I have to build my building and make this a part of my foundation to make it stronger. And that's one of the things that I said to her. The other thing that I said to her was the thing that was dangerous, because I gave her something that helps me, not knowing how it may hurt her.
Exactly.
I'm a person where I dwell in my darkness. What that means is anything that may bring you discomfort, for example, if you may have lost a loved one, the way you get past it is by not thinking of it. If you're that type of person, you don't think about it. Me, it brings me comfort to dwell in it and think about it.
See, Joe, that's look, let me tell you. So, I lost nephew last year, right? Way too young to be gone. And I've never expressed how that made me feel because I care more about how my sister feel and how she's doing and how she's holding up. Now, don't get me wrong. I say this, but when I do reach out to her, because it's not like I do it every single day. Like I'm just on top of, hey, you okay? This that. Like no, like I give her space, like I told you, because you have to get somebody else. You don't know how they feel. So I just randomly text like, hey, sis, I love you. Yeah. But like I see all, you know what I'm saying? I see nephew pictures all on social media, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the craziest part about that is the picture that everybody is using is the last picture I had of my Cardis before they broke.
Yep.
Because he used them on his face.
Yep.
And I snapped that picture of them right after that. They broke. And it's like, this picture, it means something different to me than what it means to everybody else. To everybody else, it's a nice picture. Yeah.
That picture holds a lot of significance.
Yeah. But to me, it's like, if I dig down deep into it, it's like right after that picture, I broke my yays.
Mm-hmm.
And that picture is the picture that broke my sister's heart. Because that is the picture he remembered of, you know, with the fact of him losing his life. And with me, it's like, fuck, what kind of connection is that? And when I see that picture, I go, it always hit me every time I see it. And this is my Facebook profile picture. It's like, I could have been a better uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. I still be hearing this voice of just all the times he's asked me for just the small things, and me being lost in my own world of, man, I'm gonna be gone before you. You gonna be here, you know what I'm saying, in my eyes forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I tell you no these couple times, whatever, at the end of the day, you still gonna be here.
Right.
And then it was took.
Yep. That be the thing that you ain't ready for.
At all. And through that, I still don't give myself any of that because, yeah, that's my nephew, but that was my sister's son.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter how the fuck I'm feeling.
Yep.
Because when I see that picture, I get to thinking about him and all of that good stuff. But that's me thinking about my nephew. Imagine the fact of, and that's what I go to. But how many times have she thought about him?
Mm-hmm.
Where it took me this instant, she's probably thought about him a million times. Even with just the regular shit she do daily.
Mm-hmm.
She may be sitting there washing dishes, and she like, well, when I rub the dishes this way, I can remember the time he called my name.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I can't say nothing about it. I don't know what super small thing may trigger that hurt and that pain you go through and you're constantly reliving.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just don't deal with that death shit. I put it in the box and I leave it there. I got a fucking video on my phone from G-Dad. It's people when I go, hey, you want to see? You know what I'm saying? I did a little video of G-Dad. Like, you want to see it? I can't show nobody that fucking picture. I mean that fucking video without them crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it like, well, shit, you lasted longer than I did, and I did the video.
Mm-hmm.
I can get about a second and a half of the video, and I gotta turn that bitch off. I've seen, like, the longest I've seen of that video with somebody, because I turned around and walked off.
Bro.
It's about 10 seconds.
It's crazy that you say that.
Because, look, hold on 1 second. Before you go.
Go, yeah.
I think it's the song. Like, okay, the pictures, cool. We can all deal with the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But when you throw that music in the back of it, and if you choose that is like a specific song, if you choose it.
I'm glad you said that word right.
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. If you choose it and you add that pictures to it, it brings up a whole different feeling. The song for G-Dad's one with Big Shine when told you never make it on my own. Something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the necessary lyrics, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? That's the song playing in the background. And it seemed like the pictures hit the notes perfectly for that little bit of time I've watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I I still have it in my phone right now. Like I can play that shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it hit different.
Yeah.
Now, when my Uncle Dickie passed, the song Kanye West did about his grandma, that's the song that helped me get all my tears out, because when he passed,
I'm trying to think of what song you're talking about. Is it I Smile?
I don't even know the name of it, because look, I'm about to get to that. Because when I left work, because he passed, I was at work. I left work, and that was at QMC. On my way there, I played that shit on repeat. I got all my tears out in the car. So when I got in front of everybody, face is clean, boom, I got my shit out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of handle it in the isolated state. That's the way I do all deaths. I handle it in the isolated state, which is, I tell y'all, it is not fucking healthy.
Hold on.
To some.
I was gonna say to some,
because that's the way I do it. I don't know the way other people do it.
Here's what I want to throw out and I want you to take this into consideration. For us emotionally, imagine us as being balloons. You can only take so much before you expand too far. And you know what? Because we always do nerd now, I'm gonna add a nerdy metaphor to this.
Go ahead, because that one you was just going on is literally, it's a metaphor for what Max has been telling me for the fucking long.
Dragon Ball GT.
Go with it.
The Dragon Balls, every time they made a wish, a positive wish, but all of the negative energy that was brought into the world, it was manifested into the Dragon Balls. So when they made one wish, one final wish, the Dragon Balls had too much negative energy and they eventually cracked. And all of that negative energy manifested itself into the Shadow Dragon.
That was the evil one.
Yes.
I never watched Dragon Ball GT, but I'm not dumb to it.
Nah, that is a perfect example of how we are as humans. You can only handle so much before you crack and it releases out into your surroundings.
See? And that is exactly what I was about to get into, that Maxine constantly said.
Get into it.
She says, I don't know how to comfort you during death and all of these situations, but I am afraid of what may happen once you're facing the same traumatic situations that's happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because she's like, you hold that stuff in. She goes, I cry harder at these funerals than you do. And this is your family.
Right.
So when it actually hits you, I don't know where your next move is or what is coming next.
Right.
And every time she said that, I ignored the shit out of it. And I said, I don't want to talk about this. Come on, let's talk about something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not the only one afraid in this situation.
Yeah.
I've built all of this, and the last thing I want to do is be the destruction of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to make sure, like right now, I'm not. No, I don't know what the fuck to say, but I feel like if I fucking lose it and now I'm away from all of this shit I've worked so hard to build, I don't feel like I've taught enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like you're afraid of what the outcome is, I am too. But the thing is, I'm gonna keep my motherfucking mouth shut.
Now, even though, like, even through all that I've said so far, the thing that I urge every person to do, or at least try to find a start to practice it, is letting some of that energy go. The reason why I was able to handle a lot of things, and again, I understand that it may not work for you. I'm saying this knowing and understanding that. So you do it at your own discretion.
And with that being said, I believe that the shit with, you know what I'm saying, Big J, I believe that that was the time I was going to be able to let all of that go.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to be able to just fucking ball my fucking eyes out. And the universe must have been saying I wasn't ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way the shit played off. Because I'm still hurt from that. And I'm hurt in the same aspect of my nephew and my granddad and my auntie, and the fact that there's only just a few of the elders that I was raised by left. And when I say a few, 3, as far as like elders go, but you know, also you don't necessarily have to be a grandparent, a auntie, or uncle to be an elder, you know, because we have those cousins that was there that raised us, and for some reason I'm still in the mindset of they not going nowhere. They here forever. That's gonna hurt even more once you know they hit their old age and it's time for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I want to say, like, the thing that I do urge people to do is find a moment to release, even if it's for a short period of time.
Well, now you say that, and I'm going to double on that. And I'm going to say not only find that time or that moment to release, find the therapist. Because we wasn't raised on the whole therapist thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
But when we, like, because we have the technology now, when we have the, like, resources, a therapist is not as bad as we was raised to think. It was actually what you needed.
Now, I want to piggyback off of what you just said, and I want to speak to a certain group of people. Now, for those of you, you're going to agree with what he said, but for those who don't fuck with therapists, for whatever reason it may be,
I don't fuck with therapists. And that's the crazy part. I know that, but I don't fuck with them either.
Hold on, let me land though.
Go ahead.
You may not fuck with therapists, but keep in mind that you need to also have a circle of strong-minded individuals
Exactly.
You need to make sure that your inner circle is tight.
That's why I fuck with the people I fuck with, because that's exactly fucking right.
Because you may be that person where you hearing us say, look into a therapist, and you like, man, I ain't doing that bullshit. Ain't no therapist gonna do nothing for me.
That's me.
But you got people around you who are more than willing to listen and give you a different perspective. Hell, if you choose your friends the way that I do, you got somebody that you can talk to and that'll give you some insight. And you got somebody that'll talk to you or somebody you can talk to that'll just listen. They won't even say nothing back.
And the most important part of that is not put your shit on blast.
Mm-hmm.
Not put your shit for everybody. No. They call me in confidentiality.
Yeah.
And I respected that.
Yeah. They talk to you in confidence.
Now, they will put your bullshit on blast. And that's how you know that's your friend, not your fucking therapist. And that actually holds more weight than the actual therapist that really don't understand as much, but they got the book smarts and the knowledge to help you. But the ones that are put it on blast, when they repeat it back to you, you go, I was tripping.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna come to the same point, but it's all on how you comfortable on getting there.
Now I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about baby girl who lost her job.
Because I was about to say, y'all the reasons I stopped fucking fat bitches. Because I was going through some shit and I was fucking fat bitches. And y'all niggas, first off, y'all understood what I was going through and told me I was better than this. And then when y'all realized I wasn't listening, y'all go, well, we about to roast them.
The fuck out of you, nigga. You about to catch all these jokes.
You're fucking with an ultimate warrior that hasn't took the steroids. But at the same time, hey, I understand, because that might be the one you like.
Yeah.
So, we gonna roast you, and we know you can take it.
Mm-hmm. Take it on the chin.
But you gonna take it on the chin. Because we're gonna dog you about these fat bitches, and we're gonna dog you about this fat bitch you laid up with. But at the same time, hey,
nigga,
that's you.
Hold on, let's expound on that. We gonna dog you about the fat bitch you fucking with, and we gonna dog you about the bad bitches that you not fucking with, but you in the vicinity of and choose not to fuck with.
Nigga. And the main thing is the bad bitches be the one asking them about you. And they're like, nigga, what you doing? Because I've tried to fuck this bitch 4-5 times and she's not giving me no play. She's constantly talking about you. And you walk running with goddamn Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna do? You gonna get her to fucking take her to Dr. Miami and get the hair shaved off her chest and all that shit? Because obviously Bigfoot is doing something. She ain't doing shit but feeding your fat ass. You fat bitch.
Man. But back into, what I was saying to baby girl about her situation and where I learned my lesson from. In talking to her, I told her, like, again, I'm a person that dwells in my darkness. So, like, it brings me comfort to think about the things that, I have had traumatic experiences with. Because at the end of the day, for me, I guess the thought is, you made it from that. And because you use it to make yourself stronger, it's not a thought that you need to abandon. But For some people, it's not like that. They have to be able to take their mind away from that thought, or take their mind away from, the bullshit, to be able to get through whatever it is they need to get through. That was the moment, talking to her was the moment that I realized, like, not everybody thinks like you. And though you're saying something that helped you, it can hurt another person, because they may not have the mentality that you have. They may fall into that whirlwind of thoughts and they can't get out of it. They don't have an escape. Whereas, you have the discipline. Your discipline is different. And I even said that to her, and I apologized to her. Like, I've said a lot of things to you with the intention of helping you, but it was selfish of me in that moment, because I didn't think about the fact that you don't think like me and this could hurt you. So whenever I say anything to anybody, I always make sure that I acknowledge the fact that this may not work for you. You need to, the main thing that I preach, that I believe will help everyone and is safe for everyone, is to know thyself. Know who you are and know how you are. If you know that something is not gonna work for you, don't do it. If you believe that you can try it and still come back from it if it doesn't work out, then by all means, go with what you believe in. But I don't want to tell anybody anything and they end up hurting themselves because they sent, off of my words, they sent themselves down this whirlwind in this cycle, this toxic cycle that they can't get themselves out of. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I want for anyone. I want you to be the best you that you can possibly be. So like, when it comes down to how I handle everything with my moms, it was like, everybody has that saying, don't let them see you sweat.
Yep.
Fully agree with it. And I kept that on me. But I misunderstood the statement. No, you don't want to let nobody see you sweat. But that doesn't mean that you try to keep yourself from sweating. So whenever I had, a moment where the thought crossed my mind and, the emotions were overwhelming and I felt like I was about to burst, I let it go. Hell, it was a point in time where I was in the truck. I'm on a delivery. And I literally pulled over to the side of the road and bawled my fucking eyes out. And I kept going until I felt relieved.
Now, that is one of two things I'm about to say that you already said. One is that balloon analogy. There's only so much before you burst.
Mm-hmm.
But the second part reverts back to why it didn't burst. And that is how when a person is trying to commit suicide and they're trying to drown themselves, their first instinct close to death is to come above water and take that breath.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what you just explained. Is when is at that point of explosion, you come up, you take that breath, and you let the air out of that balloon so it don't burst. You take that gust of air in so you don't drown.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly That is exactly what you just said, bro.
Like, man, when it
I'm drunk. I'm sorry.
like this lock right here, this is a lock that I dedicate to my mother. That's the reason why, like, if you ever see me out somewhere, depending on how I'm feeling that day, this lock may be hanging in front of my face. Like, I'm thinking about my mom that day, and I dedicate this lock to her because of the fact that originally this lock, it used to be two locks. And one of the locks were thinning out, so we combined them to make them one lock so that it would have better strength at the root. And it ended up being the longest lock that I have on my head. It is the longest lock that I have on my head.
I don't know if you're gonna want me to cut this part. If you do, just let me know later on. But
Hold on. This lock back here, this lock is for Jay.
I honestly think the one for your mom, at the very tip of it, buy you a small pink rubber band and put it on there. Right there at the tip. And the longer it gets, just bring that rubber band down. The one for Jay, do a blue one. Bring it all the way, or a red one, whichever one you feel, whichever one your heart tells you, whatever color your heart tells you Jay will want you to do it as, I think you should put that one right there at the end. Not to remind yourself, but just for it to stand out more to everybody else. So they will be like, why don't he have these colored rubber bands right there?
Right.
When they ask you, it's like, hey, this one's for my mom. God rest her soul.
Yep.
This one's for my brother Jay. God rest his soul. These two is for memories. The more you see rubber bands, is the more people I've lost that's really close to me. Everybody has a different color, and every single one of these locks means something different. So when you see my locks and it's at a point where it's rubber bands on all of them, understand I've lost way too many people in my life.
Yep.
And each single color you ask about, that lock has a name. So don't call this one a lock. It's not a lock. It's boom. Say the name of it.
Yep.
Next one, boom. Say the name of it. Because at the end of the day, these locks has names. These locks is more than just locks. These are my feelings and my strength growing out of my head.
Yeah. And that's perfect actually, because it actually brings into why I even started growing locks. Like, because after my mother passed, I was really going through it. I was rough mentally. And I didn't tell nobody this. This is the first time that this is coming out. Like, I had a suicide plan. I was done with life.
And you know what that brings it to? That brings it to the very first episode of So You Want to Talk. Now it has 75 views. I said in that little small 30 minutes, this is not just a podcast, but this is therapy for the people I know. And they're going to come in here and they're going to end up giving you them. From ball and chain to fucking everything.
Smiles and cries.
Exactly. I didn't even know what to say right there, but you had it because, hey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like, I had a whole suicide plan for myself. Like, I knew how I wanted to do it, and it was basically like there was people around me who wore locks, and I was looking and I was like, you know what, it's a good looking style. I like it. And I said, you know what, I think I would look good. I think I would look good with locks in my casket. Like that was the thought. Now I would look good with locks. I would look good with locks in my casket. Like so I can, and plus it's a low maintenance style. I could grow these out for a year, year and a half, and by that time, when I'm ready to go, when I feel like I look good for my casket, I want to go, I'm gonna look good. And I started growing the locks, and I got attached. I got very attached because I started noticing how I took care of my hair and how I started taking care of myself.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was just about to say that it is no different than that fucking veterinarian shit.
It was me starting to take care of myself, and I started from the crown, and I worked my way down.
It's a rebirth type of situation.
It was a total rebirth because the way that I started looking at myself and I started looking at my locks is every lock is an interlocking system. So when I look at my hair, I look at the unification of myself with my hair, an interlocking system to make a strong band, a strong bond.
Yeah, because it started out as babies. It started out as just twisties. It's just fucking twisties. They wasn't locked in. They wasn't, they were infants. And you have to raise them.
This is a farm. Like this, I call this a farm. Even all the way down to when I talk to baby girl about what I do to take care of my hair. I say, and anybody who asks me what do I do to my hair, I say I farm my own hair. I'm the one who farms it. The only thing I need from the loctician is the technique. That's the only thing I need. But all of every bit of irrigation, it's done by me. I put that care into it. I put that time into it. All I ask from anybody is the technique to maintain it. But again, it's that interlocking system. It's that unification. And as you show it care, the bond grows stronger. Yeah. And as you see from my locks and just from my mentality, it was the bond growing stronger in my locks, and it was also the bond growing stronger with myself.
And you know what that reverts back to? Something I said, I don't know how much long ago, but it's not like I made it up. That's what locks always represented. It's the strength.
Mm-hmm.
It's what hair always represented. See, now, there's two different ways to represent that strength. That is your way with the locks,
mm-hmm.
of course. And it's also my way with the balls.
Mm-hmm.
Because the strength is in your hair, and the strength is also without your hair.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say the ball is also strength is because of women. And it's not even all women. This is just, what do you call it? compressed to black women because they have always been the absolute bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the totem pole, which is it is a terrible way to that is the way society is looked at, but it's black women, white women, black men, white men.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even add in America. That's where we at. They don't even add all of the other cultures. That is how fucked up this country is. They don't even put in all of the Indians, the Mexicans, the natives, none of that. They don't even put that into the totem pole.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But a black man will have a smidgen more of say so over a white woman. But most of the time, it depends on the situation. That white woman is strong.
Right.
But at the same time, the same way these white guys look at their women is how black guys look at their women.
Mm-hmm.
And if the white man is not looking at their woman at that part of the totem, you can only imagine how far down they are compared to the that was probably just a little mechanism. But you can only imagine how far down they are compared to a black man. You know?
Right.
Because some of these black dudes, I don't look at it that way, but when I see some of the shit that they put online, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It is fucking nuts. And that's me going off Twitter, which is apparently more toxic than Facebook.
It is.
But the reason I don't really see that toxicity, I would say,
mm-hmm.
is I don't know them folks.
Right.
So I'm not really taking to what they said to heart. Well, within my Facebook, it was a lot of family and friends, and it's like, fuck, bro, I didn't even know you thought that way.
Right.
So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna skate off of Facebook because I'm starting to know way too more. It was people on my Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
These was white guys I talk to daily. They don't talk to me about this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on their Facebook, I will see them and go, oh, you saying this, but then you talk to me as if I'm any different than the bullshit you just put down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm literally in that same class. That same species of black people that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff I've done. But you look at me like, oh no, but you a good one. What the fuck does that mean?
Right. Realistically, if you want to be real, I am what all of those are working to be.
And the fact that you met me and you go, oh, well, shit. He's not lazy. He's a good worker. He this, that, and it's like, I have a family to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Same way, if you go all the way back to the 1930s, they dealt with this because they had a family to feed because they wasn't from here and they built this shit, and then y'all forced them to build all of this shit around y'all, so y'all to fucking live the way y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think it's a money thing, but no, it's a power thing. And what y'all did was y'all what would you say? Y'all basically showed the power. Because the first thing y'all had to do to get motherfuckers to listen to y'all is to start killing off the natives. Mm-hmm. Y'all did that by trickery, which is Thanksgiving.
They did that by so much trickery. It's like y'all had treaties with the natives saying, you know, we're going to do this and that, and you consistently broke those treaties.
And gave diseases out. Then
you gave not only did you give diseases out, but you were giving the medical, you were giving the medicines and withholding them.
And on top of that, y'all are looking at these people, seeing their skin was darker. Those was actually, they're not Native Americans, they're not African Americans, they're natives.
Yeah.
And a lot of those was black. That's why y'all had the fucking darker skinned Native Americans, because they were black.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think or to look into that shit until Jay Ron said. He was like, yeah, you know about, the black natives that was already here and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shit, that fucked me up. And that's all because they don't teach that shit.
The white people weren't the only ones who made boats and wanted to sail and figure out what was going on in the rest of the world.
And then to the ignorant ass white people that, you know what I'm saying, by the time we hit this earth and they hit this earth and they was taught this racist ass shit, when you say an Indian, some of them get confused and they make the little bullshit ass joke. I don't know if I have any kind of native blood in my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this joke still fucks with me to this day. It's basically on the same level of slavery jokes. When they go, oh, natives, you mean Indians, and which one you talking about? The dots or the feathers?
Yeah, that.
Because that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Indians were in what? India. And I don't even know how it had to been during them boat trips, and they was just like, we not fucking with them. Because they probably called them motherfuckers lazy. They went straight to Africa with all these people that was building Wakanda, you might as well fucking say. Because apparently when we got over here, we built America. You hear how similar them fucking names is?
Mm-hmm.
But you have them, they come over here, they build all of this great fucking land from y'all, and it took a whole nother. Y'all gave the saving grace to fucking Abraham Lincoln. Oh yeah, he was a reason the slaves was free and this, that. He signed that bill because he wanted to move the slavery shit north. That was a money move. That was not a fucking free these black people move.
Mm-hmm.
That shit had to do with the economy, not the fucking rights of black people. But you motherfuckers was doing black people so dirty down south, and when they had to fight this war against the North, and they was losing, y'all had to take all these fucking slave holders and masses and all of this shit, and they had to fucking be recruited to come fight this war, to where the black folks was like, oh, so y'all think these bitches, because that's what I'm gonna call them. I don't give a fuck who grandma it is. Y'all think these bitches is about to keep us in line? These hoes don't even know how to crack the whip. And the ones that's left there to crack the whip is way more of us than it is of them. And we started taking that shit over.
I was getting ready to say the other thing about what you were saying with him wanting to move the shit to the north. The South didn't want to put a gun in the hands of a nigga.
Exactly.
But the North would.
Exactly.
The North was like, oh, you wanna fight the South? Yeah, because they got your people down there.
And
take this gun, young man.
And you know what the trickery of that was? The fact of a lot of them motherfuckers escaped all the way to the north on foot. And they're like, hell yeah, give me that here. I want to go get these motherfuckers.
I want to go
because I need to find my child. I need to find my husband. I need to find my wife. Yes, give me the gun and we're coming right with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that when the shit is all said and done, we see the racism up here. All of that shit wasn't just because some white folks moved from the South. No, our folks moved up here and fought. These white folks was already here.
Mm-hmm.
You seen gangs in New York. Them motherfuckers, they didn't care if you was white or black.
Yeah.
You came on a boat, they didn't like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why those Cubans and all that shit was moving, was coming in south off of the simple fact that they see my lighter skin. I'm not about to be put in these fucking fields and all of that shit. But you bring that boat up to the north, this is just going off Gangs of New York facts. Them white motherfuckers, oh, you Italian bitch, go back where you came from, bust that grandma in the head with a brick.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the fact of your skin color with the racism. It was the fact of you not from around here.
Mm-hmm.
Down there, it was skin color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got us a whole boat full of niggas. Yeah, we know just what to do with them. Oh, you Italian. So look, we talked about this already. So the Italians, they also, the Italians and Cubans and all of them, they also, had to fight their way in.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a different kind of fight.
Yeah.
As long as they didn't like niggas, it's good.
I was gonna say more specifically on the Italian part of it. So with the Italians, a lot of them came over with a foundation. That's why the mob got formed.
Exactly.
Because the mob was already running shit in Italy. They were, literally running shit.
Come on, talk to them. Talk to them. Because when they came over here, they got to running shit.
Look up a dude. His name is Don Carlo. That motherfucker is real. That was a real motherfucker who was running shit over there.
See,
under Mussolini, he was running shit.
Man, the point I was gonna make was the fact of look at two different movies, two different films. I'm just going off the fact of when I got to this earth during that time, these was made. These wasn't made just off of coincidence. This is how shit. They didn't make as much money as they did from coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
They made as much money as they did from feelings, from people writing shit that relates. Look at Scarface, based in Miami, right? Them motherfuckers ain't fuck with niggas.
Mm-hmm.
They kept their shit, they kept their organization onto their people.
Yeah.
Then turn around and look at goddamn, what's the name of that movie?
What, The Godfather?
No. It's a New York-based movie with the
Goodfellas?
No. The one with the black daughter dating the Italian son. not Al Pacino. Robert was it Robert De Niro?
Probably was Robert De Niro.
He used to always drive his car in reverse.
Mm.
Bronx Tale.
Oh, I ain't seen it.
You ain't seen Bronx Tale?
No.
Go watch Bronx Tale. Bronx Tale was not about the drugs and all of that shit. It's about the children growing up in the atmosphere of the segregation of the Italians and the blacks.
Mm-hmm.
This is in New York. This is in the Bronx.
Yeah.
So we already have established and we already know about Scarface and all of that other shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bronx Tale is you take the Goodfellas or the Godfather and shit like that was based in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and you bring that down to what they was teaching the kids.
Mm.
So now you have this whole segregation going through, but the cast is teenagers, not adults.
Right.
So this isn't the mob. These are the mob's kids, basically.
Right.
Because it's a certain line you can cross where the girl was dating this Italian guy that treated her right, that wasn't with all of the bullshit his boys was with, but he had to hide it from his boys because all of them is like, if these niggas cross this fucking line and come over to our side, oh, they're free game.
Mm-hmm.
And these niggas was like, we catch them on our side, nigga, we not holding back shit. Shit is going down.
Mm-hmm.
And with her dating the Italian boy, you see some of those lines get crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a whole lot of that fucking segregation and that fucking racism shit going the fuck down. The Bronx Tale, that's a good ass fucking movie, man.
I gotta check that out.
Check that bitch the fuck out. It's gonna blow your goddamn mind just off the simple fact of this shit is not born in you, it's taught.
Mm-hmm.
And it's executed as you're growing.
Yep. You brought up Goodfellas. Goodfellas is like one of them ones that I always watched where when you look at that shit, like, it's the mindset of, I see the motherfuckers with money.
Yeah.
I want to fuck with the motherfuckers who got the money.
See, and that's how it was getting people. It was getting people with the money aspect. See, me personally, watching those movies, off top, I understood it was a movie. I didn't try to go, oh, I'm about to live this shit out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the money shit didn't faze me. It was the whole fact of the writing and the picture they're portraying. It was like, this is fucked up. That's why, like, yeah, I got that Scarface leather jacket, but at the end of the day, if a motherfucker asks me why did I get it, I was like, because that bitch is bedazzled at the back of it, and the motherfucker's shiny. I like the spray paint on that bitch. But you've seen me, I've had that jacket 15 years. How many times have you actually seen me wear that bitch?
I ain't never seen you wear it.
That's how many times. It's not that I've never worn it. I've worn it, but it's only been a few, like a small few. Like really, the bitch is sitting in my garage right now, and
Al Wu?
yeah, it's a look. Let me tell you. So this jacket is, yeah, this bitch is about 12, 13 years old, right? It's made of Italian leather. The bitch don't have a crack on the leather. Italian leather is fucking good leather.
Mm-hmm.
That is good ass fucking leather. Because that motherfucker has sat out rain, sleet, snow, sunny in a box.
Mm.
and the bitch is crispy as hell. Like, if I was to pull it out right now, a motherfucker would think I just bought it.
Mm.
But, nigga, see, so I had found out after a few years of wearing, I had an Al. That bitch took a long time to crack. Long fucking time. I had that bitch. That fucking Scarface coat before I had the Al. And like I said, it still haven't cracked yet.
Mm.
But I remember back in 2012, 2013, I want to say, Mario was on 106 in Park. That might have even been way before then.
Mm.
No, okay, so Mario, he had his hits. He's already disappeared. He's been gone for some years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They bring him back up. They bring him on the TV. He was on 106 in Park. And he was like, yeah. You know, he got to talking shit about Italian leather, this, that. And he was talking about how good it was. I didn't think nothing of it. I've had this coat for a few years, but I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, oh shit. Damn, I got one. It got the Italian little flag, the little tag, all that little shit right on the outside. Like, damn, Italian leather that fucking good? Like shit. Because he was saying he only wear Italian leather if he's gonna wear leather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think at this point he wasn't even staying in America.
Mm.
But he was just riffing and raving on about Italian leather.
Right.
I was like, damn, I got one of them bitches. I ain't know that bitch popping like that. Nigga, we fast forward to right now, nigga, that bitch ain't got a crack on it.
Damn.
Nigga, that bitch been in... Look, I've lived here 6 years now. 5, 6 years. 5 years. It'll be 6 come July. I haven't worn that coat now once since I lived here. It's been in a box that's moved from the sunroom to the garage. That's the most it's ever moved. Boom to boom. Boom to boom. Motherfucker ain't got a crack on there. The spray paint of fucking Scarface don't have a blemish.
Mm. Damn.
That Italian leather is something different. But, you know, fuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know enough about that community as if they're coming over. Because even Cardi B, she's not fucking Italian. She's like Mexican or some shit like that.
Some type of Dominican.
Yeah, like that.
Or a Latin, rather.
Yeah, Latin. That's what it is. Latin motherfuckers, they fuck with us, but to an extent. I don't understand how we generated so much hate. But what I do know is it come from the wars. Because when we was fighting all them wars in all them different countries, while the white people is going around and diminishing these niggas because they've always felt like they was better, niggas was going around and they taught every single last country we landed in how to cook chicken. That's what that racism schematic.
Where is that stereotype?
That's where that shit comes from. Because
I think I just low key picked my nose on camera.
That's good. But that's where that shit comes from. Because I didn't even look it up. I was watching, I believe it was Damn Internet You Scary.
Oh shit, yeah, they be coming with some shit too.
Patrick dropped that fact. And even to hear was like, damn, I didn't know that. And Patrick was going through, you know what I'm saying, going through the motions.
Mm.
Patrick Cloud, to hear more. Shout out, boys. And they was going through the motions, and you know, Patrick was talking about how he came across the information of during like the wars that how black people was teaching all of these other countries how to fry chicken.
Mm.
But that's the information he put in there. But we all know if you actually paid attention in social studies, how in all of these wars, how white people was going around and diminishing the black people, you know, the black people.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the ones who taught the Chinese to hate black people. Like that's where the Chinese racism comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Was when we got out there, they have already, the white people have already told them we was stupid, we was lazy, we was this, we was that, we don't do shit, we don't know shit, all of this stuff. And then when the black people rolled in, mind you, these are fucking basically children of slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So no, they didn't know nothing because they wasn't taught nothing but this other shit coming into the game.
Right.
Man, that shit rolls so goddamn deep, and these fucking stereotypes is so fucked up because now when you go to a job, the main motherfucker trying to tell you a workaround on how to be lazy and not do shit is a white motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And when some shit go on where some work actually has to be done because it's crunch time, the first people complaining is them white motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it? Okay. So I'm going to say this just for y'all, but it's not all of them. But it's a high percentage. And it's fucked up. And it's not y'all fault. Because just like we was taught, y'all was taught. But some of us wasn't taught that hatred. Just like some of y'all wasn't taught that hatred. Because as a teenager, we all was teenagers. The main thing that you was doing was rebelling against whatever your parents was trying to install in you. Some of them was, some of them wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like we gonna be dead 100, 200 years before this shit has actually reached some kind of equality.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of them, it's a lot of the white people that is not with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why that whole George Floyd thing, when that shit went down, it was the world that came down to the injustice of that.
Yep.
It wasn't just, it was nowhere near like the fucking Rodney King shit. And we're gonna skip all over fucking OJ because shit, he might have did that shit.
Arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
Nigga,